Hey, what's going on, guys? So I've had some people reach out to me recently and ask me to do a video on the stereo system that I have in my coupe. Now, I want to let you know up front here that my car has by no means an over-the-top stereo system. There's stereo systems out there that would make mine look silly. But I think what's drawn most people to it is the fact that I've built a custom enclosure for the trunk and an amp rack, and it still allows me to utilize 99.9% of the space that Ford designed within these trunks. So I want to walk you around and show you what's going on, but at the same time, I'm going to cut to some photos because I obviously built this sub box some time ago, and I'll talk you through what I was doing at the time in the photos to give you a sense of how I built this box and amp rack and stuff. So let's head around the car and I'll show you what I got going on. Okay, so heading into the car here, as I mentioned, inside's nothing fancy. Well, at least it's nothing fancy that you can really see, right? Because my door speakers are obviously behind my door panel. 3.5s up front. Pretty standard Pioneer deck. I do have an amp under my seat. You can kind of see the edge of it there. Runs my front speakers, right? It's not an over-the-top amp by any means. PPI amp. But yeah, like I say, the big draw, I think, for folks that want to know what's going on is in the back here. So what I've done is I have built a fiberglass enclosure that fits into my spare tire holder, or what used to be. So there you go. Now, please don't judge me based on my fiberglass work. I am not a professional fiberglasser, and this was my very first crack ever at fiberglassing something. So yeah, I guess not a bad deal for a guy's first go. Definitely puts better use to the spare tire area than the ridiculous donut tire that Ford gave you from stock. Now, I don't have any use for the spare tire. I've got the 5-volt conversion, right? So a 4-lug donut's not going to do me any good. And yeah, I just thought this would be a nice way to gain back some of my trunk space. I mean, I've had, you know, kind of the wedge style boxes buried in the back here over the years, and always thought it'd be nice to have a little bit more trunk space. Now, as I mentioned, I also did a bit of an amp rack back here. Enclosed it all in so you can't see any of the wires, and then it's just a MDF board that I cut to fit my back area here, and then I wrapped it in like a black felt, which tidies up this back area, right? I mean, you kind of see the back seat brace, and it was fairly ugly before. Kind of like my carpet, the original carpet from '92, whatever that's from, God. Anyway, yeah, you kind of regain some of the trunk space that you lose when you do want to run a little bit of a stereo system in these cars. It's a little difficult to tell, but you can see how I've raised up the fiberglass box up to the sub, so it slopes up ever so slightly. And the reason I did that was I wasn't crazy about running a grill over top of this. And my thought being, if anything was ever back here that was going to roll around, it'd have a tougher time making its way up that. And then obviously it's going to bump into this, and probably pretty good chance it's going to keep whatever's rolling around off of the sub. So yeah, I mean, whatever it is that you're into and you put in the back of your trunk, if you're anything like me, it's usually nothing. But you know, if you're taking the car to the golf course, this will fit golf clubs perfectly. At least one set through here. And whatever else you need to put back here. Box of beer, bag of groceries. Works out pretty good. So there you have it, guys. Obviously not the top of the line, craziest stereo system, you know, that somebody's paid a audio shop to build for them. But it is a stereo system that I built myself. Gives you an idea what a person's capable of, or you may be capable of. Like I said, I've never worked with fiberglass before in my life. My very first crack at it. And overall, I think it turned out really well. And it sounds great too. I could try and show you a sound clip, but it doesn't translate very well to video and or YouTube. So yeah, I like I say, I hope this gives you some ideas. By all means, ask me any questions you may have. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, try and help you out with whatever it may be, the items I used or how I went about doing something. Again, gain your trunk back, right? Get that old wedge style box out of your trunk and use that spare tire holder for some good. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope this video finds you well. Take care.